the purpose is you, and it's your being, and it's you being in your mundane. Like when you think about that saying, how the flowers just are and the bees come, it's the fact that the flowers do need the bees to pollinate, and there's other insects, right? But they need the bees to pollinate, right? They need the bees to do that in order for them to continue to grow. I know for a fact when I was growing my cucumbers, I was not seeing any growth for some reason, and it was bothering me, and it was like, okay, oh, the bees had to start coming and pollinating the flowers, and that's when they started growing more, but they had to grow into the version of themselves, into the version of the plant that could receive pollination. If there's nothing there to pollinate, then there's nothing there to pollinate. You still have some growing to do. There's still some more that needs to, and there's nothing wrong with that. The maturity hits when it needs to hit, and then the pollination just naturally comes. But this is the thing, this is the consistent thing about the flower, is that the flower just is. It just grows, and it just is, and it's consistent in just being in its own mundane. And eventually the process goes through the process, and it's planted, and it grows, the roots grow in the soil and all that, knowing that it's a flower, right? And even when it sprouts outside of the soil, right, it knows it's a flower because it grew out of the flower seed. But it can't be seen by us, right? If I took a seed, a random seed, and you don't know what this seed is, and I just plant it, and we're just watching this flower together, this thing grow, I know it's a flower, but you don't, because you didn't see what kind of seed was planted. Well, even as it pushes through the soil and it's in the light, you still don't quite know yet. It still has a little bit of growing to do in the light, because the light plays a process in helping it grow. There's things that it needs from the light in order for it to continue to grow to the version of itself that can receive the pollination. But throughout that entire process, that flower is just being itself. It was planted that way. It can't be any other way. So when you think about, or when you get frustrated about your purpose, I try to remind myself of this same thing. There's nothing that you're not going to do. You're planted, you were created as you were, and you're going to sprout in due time. You're going to see what your purpose is in due time. You're going to eventually, you know it, right? You know this thing.